The disappearance at Lake Crescent. Full story. Prologue. A lake of secrets. Lake Crescent, nestled in the Olympic National Park in Washington state, is a place of stunning beauty. Its crystal clear waters are surrounded by towering evergreens and snow-capped mountains. But beneath its tranquil surface lies a darkness, an eerie stillness that has inspired ghost stories for generations. Legends of mysterious disappearances and hauntings have surrounded the lake for over a century. Among these stories, one stands out above the rest: the chilling case of Hallie Illingworth, the Lady of the Lake. Part 1. Hallie's life in a small town. Hallie Illingworth moved to the small town of Port Angeles in 1934. A vibrant woman in her mid-30s, she worked at a bustling tavern near Lake Crescent. Known for her quick wit and warm smile, she quickly became a beloved figure in the community. When Hallie met Monty Illingworth, he swept her off her feet. Monty was a salesman, well-dressed and charming, with a magnetic personality that drew people in. Their courtship was quick, and within months, they were married. But the fairy tale romance didn't last. Monty's charm masked a darker side. He was controlling and prone to violent outbursts, especially after drinking. Hallie's once vibrant personality began to dim, and her friends noticed she often wore long sleeves, even in summer, to hide bruises. Part 2. The night Hallie disappeared. On the night of December 22nd, 1937, Hallie didn't show up for a shift at the tavern. At first, her co-workers assumed she was unwell, but when she failed to appear for days, concern grew. Monty claimed Hallie had left him. "She told me she couldn't take it anymore," he said to anyone who asked. "She ran off to start fresh somewhere else." But Hallie's friends didn't believe it. She'd been saving money to leave Monty and confided in a friend about her plans to go back to Kentucky to be with her family. For her to vanish without contacting them didn't make sense. Despite their suspicions, the case went cold. The police had no leads, and Monty moved on with his life. Part 3. The Discovery. 3 years later, in July 1940, two fishermen on Lake Crescent spotted something strange floating near their boat. At first, they thought it was debris, a log, or perhaps an animal carcass. But as they got closer, they realized it was a body. The body was eerily well preserved, almost waxy in texture. Scientists later explained that the cold, mineral-rich waters of Lake Crescent had caused a process called saponification, turning the body's fat into a soap-like substance. When the coroner examined the body, they found clear signs of foul play. Rope marks around the neck and wrists. The woman had been strangled and tied with heavy weights before being dumped into the lake. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. It didn't take long for authorities to identify the body as Hallie Illingworth. In our Tom, Part 4, The Investigation. The discovery reignited the investigation into Hallie's disappearance. Witnesses came forward, recalling the tumultuous relationship between Hallie and Monty. A former co-worker testified that Hallie had once shown her bruises, whispering, "One day, he'll kill me." Detectives pieced together a timeline of events leading up to Hallie's death. Monty had been seen arguing with Hallie on the night she disappeared. Neighbors reported hearing shouting and the sound of something heavy being dragged. Monty, who had since remarried and moved to California, was arrested and extradited to Washington. Anathema. Part 5. The Trial. The trial of Montgomery Illingworth captivated the nation. Newspapers dubbed Hallie the Lady of the Lake, and the case became a media sensation. Prosecutors painted Monty as a jealous, abusive husband who killed Hallie in a fit of rage. They presented evidence of his violent tendencies and testimony from witnesses who had heard the couple fighting on multiple occasions. Monty maintained his innocence, claiming Hallie had left him and that her death was a tragic accident. But the evidence was damning. The jury took less than a day to convict him of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison. Markham, Part 6. The Haunting of Lake Crescent. After Monty's conviction, life in the small town returned to normal, at least on the surface. But stories of strange occurrences at Lake Crescent began to spread. Fishermen reported hearing whispers in the wind, soft and mournful, as if a woman were calling for help. Campers near the lake spoke of waking up to the sound of footsteps outside their tents, only to find no one there. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more interesting and chilling stories. One night, a couple staying in a cabin near the lake claimed to see the apparition of a woman in a white dress standing on the shore. Her face was pale and expressionless, her eyes fixed on the water. When they called out to her, she vanished into the mist. Locals began referring to Hallie's ghost as the Lady of the Lake, believing her spirit was tied to the place of her death. Sister Part 7. A Legacy of Fear. To this day, Lake Crescent remains a popular destination for hikers, fishermen, and adventurers. But for those who know its history, the beauty of the lake is tinged with unease. Visitors often leave small offerings on the shore. A flower, a candle, a handwritten note, hoping to appease the restless spirit of Hallie Illingworth. Some claim that acknowledging her presence brings a sense of peace, while others say it only deepens the eerie feeling that something unseen is watching. The story of the Lady of the Lake serves as a chilling reminder of the violence that can hide behind closed doors and the secrets that can lie buried beneath the surface. The epilogue, a haunting reflection. For me, the story of Hallie Illingworth isn't just a ghost story. It's a tragedy. It's about a woman who lost her life too soon, whose voice was silenced, but whose story lives on. The next time you visit a place as beautiful as Lake Crescent, take a moment to reflect. Beneath the serene surface, there may be stories waiting to be uncovered. Stories that remind us of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places.